And then here, well, everybody look up here towards Robert's desk. Here's what we're gonna do. He's gonna hold his bag up. Once he's got it sealed. Okay, he's gonna hold it up for me. I'm gonna spray both sides. He's gonna drop it in there. It'll dry in there. Don't worry about it being wet, okay? And then I'll go on to the next person. And then I'm also spraying hands at the same time if you don't have your own. Hurry. I'll come back to you. Drop it in there.
Are you gonna
Hold it up. No, because you're the only person touching the inside. That is not okay with me. It's loud and it'll break your bag. Okay, drop it in there. Try to get some air out as the best you can, okay?
I don't have any hair right now.
Okay, I thought Julia had to go better. I thought you had your own, sorry. Robert's all ready. Okay, good. Hold it up. Hold it up. She's up there. You got it. Put it in there. What? I'm not sure. Hands.
I don't know.
Hands.
I will never call her by drinking water.
And put your board in. Go very quickly.
Okay, we should have all whiteboards away.
This is on 02.
This should be cleaned off, nothing on it. Okay, first, we're gonna listen to this recording that was back from 1890. That was over 100 years ago. This is how it sounds. We're just gonna listen to it. I'll walk around.
I heard Paris. And I've heard Benjamin Janet. I heard
Is this easier or harder to hear?
harder because it goes like.
It's really hard, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It was a long time ago.
When they had hardly any technology.
Mm-hmm. And so that was when the radio first came out. That's the story we're gonna be reading today. But first, we have some vocabulary words to go over. So first word is historical text. Can anyone give me like an idea of what they think it is? Carson, see? What do you think? Oh, Catherine, hang on. Just wait a second. Chloe?
I didn't get to hear it.
You didn't get to hear it? Okay, I will play it after. Okay, sounds good. Luna. So historical text is a text that gives facts about past events. So these can be like encyclopedias, or there's some picture books that will go further into the past. Next one, we're gonna do time order words. And so these are words and phrases such as first, during, that signal time order. So I'm gonna say some words and you're gonna stand up if you think the first word is a time order word, and if it's not, if you don't think it is, then go ahead and sit down. Do you think pumpkin is a time order word? Good job. How about first? Those standing are correct, because you would use in a sentence like, first we do math, and then we do reading. Yeah. How about Halloween? That's not time order, is it? During. Good job. How about the word then? Good job, those still standing. Okay. You guys can all go ahead and sit down. Thank you. And the next one is gonna be timeline. So can anyone tell me what a timeline is? Dominic.
It's like a number, but it tells the events that happened in a person's life.
Very good. And it doesn't have to be someone's life, it can just be events that happened in order.
There's a
So, and we're going to look over here. Oh, stop. Okay, make a line.
Oh, like a body graph.
Good job.
1982. 1972.
1972.
I was watching a video that was born.
Nope, not born.
Was born.
Good
Oh.
job.
What?
So my mom was born in 1972.
How old is she?
I was born in
1999. Oh, 1988. So she's 28.
Okay, so do you guys think you guys would be before, between, or after me? You guys think you're
After. Definitely after. We was born in 2000, 2010,
who was born
2011.
in 2010?
2011.
How about 2011?
Wait, no, 2009.
Any 2009?
No.
No.
Okay. My cousin was like 2011.
So that's what a timeline would look like. We're gonna make one.
2011.
So that's the idea of a timeline.
Say you were born. I was one way ahead of it.
Wow. That
Yes,
is a
I'll be
long
in.
time.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and start all grade. 5. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and get our Journeys textbooks.
Oh.
Yes, that book. And we're gonna turn, not the close readers. This one. We're gonna turn to page 190.
190?
Yes.
How do you turn the? On the remote with the source, just hit that button and wait. And you just wait.
99 or 90?
190.
I made the radio.
Okay, once you're there, let's have voices off. Okay. at page 190 and it looks like this. Okay,
198.
190. Voice is off. Okay. So I'm gonna read these two paragraphs, so follow along with your finger in your book. So this genre is an informational text, such as this article gives information about a topic. The information can be organized under headings. Informational text often includes photographs. So do you think we're gonna see a lot of photographs in this?
Yes.
We're gonna see a lot of older pictures. Okay, and this text focus is a historical text. And I already told you guys about it, but we're gonna read it. It's a kind of informational text that tells about a topic in history. It is usually told in sequential order with dates as well as transitional words to help readers keep track of events. Historical text often includes a timeline that shows a series of events. And what does the timeline in the article show? But we'll see that later on. Okay. We're going to start reading. We're going to start with reading the title. So everyone put your finger up on the. Not yet. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1.
The history of radio by Vivian Fernandez.
Good job. Okay, start down here.
The beginning of the radio. We can see the radio waves all around us. In the late 1800s, Macaroni used radio waves to send and receive signals through the air. At first, the sound or signals. Macaroni offshore distance.
Okay, stop. Okay, we're gonna get all back on track. Yes, Miles? Okay, so we're gonna start down here. It's Marconi, not macaroni, Marconi.
Macaroni.
Okay, so we'll start there in 3, 2, 1.
Marconi kept working and soon he was sending signals over several miles. By the early 1900s, people were using radio technology to send
Messages across oceans. However,
these messages come from voices. They have to be sent in Morse code.
Oh, pause. Didn't you guys talk about Morse code?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a
Somebody-
signal of beeps.
Oh, raise your hand. Jayla E. Good job.
Wait, I don't know the word.
Yes, Mom.
It's beeps of dots and dashes.
Yeah. Dominic?
The pattern of dots and dashes.
Good job. All good answers. Okay, we're gonna start on the word then. 3, 2, 1.
Then on December 24th, 1906,
Reginald Seaton made the first transmission of speech and music.
he had found a way to change the sounds of voices and music into a signal that could be carried by radio waves.
Stop. Okay. What was the big advantage of Reginald Seaton's improvement? You guys can look back in the story if you need to. Tucker?
That people could like hear voices, and so if you didn't know Morse code, you can understand it easier.
Exactly. Because now that they no longer needed Morse code because they were able to get the voice carried over by the sound waves, correct? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and jump over the yellow page.
But some civilians still use it.
Yep. So up at the top, I'll read that little, where there's an arrow pointing next to the guy who's singing. I'll read that. Orson Welles directed and performed in many radio plays. Did you guys read The Invasion from Mars?
We haven't finished it yet.
Haven't finished it yet?
Yeah, we finished
Well-
He finished it. He's not in it.
No, he's not.
it. It was
He,
good.
he wrote parts of it.
But that was a radio broadcast. So you might have heard that over the radio back in those times.
That was scary.
And they would listen to plays instead of music. Okay. We're gonna start up here at the heading, radios.
Radio.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Radio is the home.
By the 1920s, more and more people had radios at home. Families listened to the radio like we watch television. Many listened to music, but soon radio stations came up with different kinds of programs, which were often broadcast live. Families could listen to the radio to hear music, comedies, and stories. One show was maybe too exciting. October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles presented The War of the Worlds. Millions of people listened to the radio show about alien attack, and some believed that they was real. Another kind of radio drama told stories about families. They were called soaps. This is because soap makers paid for most of these shows. Saturday mornings and after school were times for children's shows. Buck Rogers in the 25th century, Superman and Popeye were some children's shows. Pause. So what was on, when were children's shows on?
On the 25th.
Braxton?
Popeye the Sailor Man.
That was one of them. When were they on? What time?
25th century.
After school. And Michael.
I actually never mind.
Miles.
On the weekends.
On the weekends. Because why wouldn't they play children's shows all day long on weekdays?
Because kids can't see them.
Kids were at school, right? So they weren't going to be home watching TV. And do parents like to watch kids shows?
No.
No. Do your parents like to watch kids shows?
Yeah.
Sometimes? Sometimes I bet they do.
No.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and go on to the next. Robert, do you have something to say?
Superman.
Not yet. Okay, we're going to start with the word the. Okay, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1.
The radio was going
So a way for families to hear about news. On March 12, 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave the first of his fireside chats. Later, during World War II, radio stations reported what was happening. After World War II, people turned away from radio to television. Many radio programs stopped airing. Some shows that had been on the radio, such as The Lone Ranger, are now on television. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do these 2 and 3. So why do you think listening to the radio was popular? And go ahead and you guys can look in the book. If you guys need some help. Jayla M.
There was nothing else for them to watch.
Yeah. Anything else? Aiden,
I watched The Lone Ranger
you watched the Lone Ranger. Ooh. Robert.
Because they couldn't do anything else.
Mm-hmm. Says there were shows for adults and shows for kids. News broadcasts kept families informed about world events. Music, comedies, and stories were entertaining. Do you guys like watching the news?
No.
Yes.
Who likes watching? Oh, if you like watching the news, raise your hand. If you don't like watching the news, raise your hand. I'm not a fan of the news either.
This season is
This season I like race. This season
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to get you
be silly, please
It's
listen.
okay.
Next question. Reread the last paragraph on page 191. What does the word airing mean here? Okay, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna start on the word after. Oh, you guys can't see.
After World War II.
In 3, 2, 1.
After World War II.
Many radio programs stopped airing. Some shows that had been on the radio, such as The Lone Ranger, are now on television. So what does the word airing mean here? Who can tell me? Tucker?
That means like they're live,
Like they're live?
or the show's going on.
Mm-hmm. Chloe, what do you think?
I have one of these radios.
Oh, you have one of those radios? They're not seen too much. Yondis?
Not really.
Airing means when some shows stop, when some shows stop off the radio and went to television.
Mm-hmm. Says being broadcast on the air, which was on radio waves. So that was what airing meant, was it stopped being on the radio. It stopped airing on the radio because they stopped using the airwaves for the sound waves. Okay, so we're gonna flip the page and go to 192. Okay, I wanna flip the page.
All the way to 1930.
Yeah. We're gonna start up at the heading with the word the.
Titanic sent four.
Okay, oh, in 3, 2, 1.
The future of radio.
Today, radio has a lot of competition. Besides television and movies, many people turn to the internet for entertainment and news. Internet radio does not use radio waves, but like radio, you can listen to music and shows anywhere. Regular radio is limited by how far radio signals can reach. In time, we will see if radio survives this new kind of competition. Hey, go ahead and pause. Where do you guys normally listen to the radio?
In the car.
Oh, Jasmine? In the car. Did you guys listen to it anywhere else?
No. Yeah, in my house only.
In your house? I didn't know how many people listen to it in your house, but what do you guys usually use if you guys want to listen to music?
I have an actual very old radio that works.
Person C? A phone? Where do you guys usually get on?
YouTube.
Natalie? YouTube?
Or in my
Uh-huh.
If you're yelling out,
My
stop.
grandma wants to listen to music. When she is working, she'll like put it on the radio.
Oh,
I know.
yes, Mom?
Earhart Radio.
Oh. So there's a lot of ways we can listen to stuff now, isn't there? You guys, you guys really listen to music on TV at all?
Yeah.
Sometimes?
I like the
Nice.
music.
Oh, very nice. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and read these captions to these pictures.
Nice. Enough yelling out and talking over her. If you want to say something, raise your hand.
Yes, Tucker?
My life has grown on a couple of words. One of 5.3, the buzz.
Oh, very nice. Okay,
The radio my dad listens to.
we're gonna start reading at the word many. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Many people first heard about the sinking of the Titanic over the radio. Pause. Who knows what the Titanic is? Carson with the pick. What is it?
It's a movie.
It's a movie about.
Big ship that's crashing.
Uh-huh. Luna?
It crashed on an iceberg. And it was awesome.
Awesome.
Basically it is about and also they had these little like boats they could go
Mm-hmm.
on so
It-
but they didn't have a ton of ghosts still, but they did use it for emergencies and they did practice it in case that happened.
Yes. It happened back in 1912. It was a long time ago, and this big cruise ship was leaving and sailing around, and then it hit an iceberg, and it sunk. And so back then, this was how everyone was getting informed over it.
People kept
Was
calling it a
the
fun
Mhm.
It's a cool
And it is a movie. It came out a long time ago.
And it's a book.
I
have-
What is it?
I
forgot what an iceberg looks like. It's a big old.
It's a big chunk of ice in the water. Really, really big.
And it has a bottom. It's like a floating ice cube.
It's like
I don't have a picture of it. No.
it's probably as big as the school. Big. They can be bigger. and
They're
as
big.
as the school.
How tall
Or
are they?
bigger. Very tall. They can be
Okay.
bigger than tall.
Everyone hands down, boys stop.
There's that weird away.
Yeah.
We're gonna start, hands down, boys stop. We're gonna start with the word millions in 3, 2, 1.
Millions of
Americans listened to President Roosevelt's fireside chat on the radio. Okay. And now we're gonna go down, boys are off. Now we're gonna start with the timeline. Be paying attention because the years, they'll go up and then you'll move down and go back up. So if it helps, you look up here where my finger is. We're gonna read this one first, since it's 1895. I'm not used to saying 1800s. Okay, so we're gonna start with 1895 in 3, 2, 1. 1895, Guglielmo Marconi sends and receives first radio signal through the air. Now we're gonna bounce over here to 1901 in 3, 2, 1. 1901, Marconi receives first radio signal across the Atlantic Ocean. So he received it all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, which is a big deal, isn't it? That's hard to get a radio wave all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. That's not easy, especially all the way back in 1901. A long time ago. Now we're gonna bounce down here to 1906. 3, 2, 1. 1906. Reginald Rodriguez sends first transmission of human voice. Now we're gonna bounce all the way up here to 1912. In 3, 2, 1. 1912. A message about the RMS Titanic sinking in the cruise radio transmission, saving many lives.
Saving many lives.
There's
Wow.
like 1,000 people who died.
Why do we have hands up?
Never going down.
Put your hands down right now. We're still reading. Okay. We're gonna go down to 1920. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. 1920, the first radio commercial broadcast in the United States reports results of presidential election. What do we have coming up next week?
Huh?
Does anyone know?
What did you say?
Big thing for America? What's happening next week?
The president.
Dominic?
Election.
Election.
Bring
Donald
in the
Trump
flag.
versus Biden. Does anyone know what presidential election, which number this is?
Oh yeah, they have.
They only say what?
Luna?
I forgot. Stupid ads.
Right, you're gonna say?
I'm
Carrie?
tired of the stupid ads.
Election is like where you vote
Mhm.
for who's the new president, like that, and some of the people picked Barbara Boyer and Donald Trump, and Donald Trump won, and he got to
Give me 5.
be the
You're getting way off topic, and I feel like some of you are doing that on purpose. We will discuss the election next week in social studies, okay? That's not what she was asking you. She asked what number it was. If you don't know, then don't raise your hand. Put your hands down if you don't know.
Braxton. Good job. Okay, now we're gonna bounce up to 1921. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
1921,
First
first
broadcast of baseball and football games. Is that weird to you guys that they listen to football and baseball games? Do any of you guys ever listen to football or baseball games, or do you watch them?
I watch baseball.
Who all listens to it, just doesn't watch it all, but only listens to it? Raise your hand.
I gotta see what he's
Who actually watches them on TV?
We watch the game
Okay,
every
voices
night.
off. We're gonna go down to 1922, starting in 3, 2, 1. 1922, first radio commercial in the United States for real estate in New York. So, they did, because that was their first radio commercial. Wouldn't that be nice at some point, not having commercials?
Yeah.
And ads for everything? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, we're gonna bounce up here for 1926. In 3, 2, 1. 1926, first national network is formed. National Broadcasting Company, NBC. Good job. Okay. And so we're gonna, so what is the time period covered in the timeline on page 192? What is the time period of it? Jayla M.
1897 to 1930.
Not 1895 to about 1930. That's when the timeline ends. The last event happens in 1926. So, did the history of the radio end in 1930?
No.
Oh, don't shout out. Dominic?
It didn't change after 1926.
No, it didn't end there, did it?
No.
Because we still have radio today, don't we?
And it's getting modern every single day.
Yep. We still have radio stations, and there's still a lot of people that listen to the radio.
I do.
Sometimes in the car, people will turn on their Bluetooth or hook their phone up and just listen to music instead of the radio. That's what I do.
That's what mine
I haven't listened to the radio in a long time. Yes, Carson?
Well, every time at my grandma's house, she has like an old radio.
She does. That's, my great grandma has one that she listens to. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and hand out a copy of the timeline. You guys can either leave your books out to use for it, or you can put them away. Actually, I should say let's put them away. Yeah, go ahead and put your books away.
Quietly, quietly. You don't need to slam things around.
I'm gonna go ahead and put your name on the top of the timeline, and then get out some scissors. If you don't have scissors, go ahead and raise your hand.
Yes, I know. What did she say to do about that? What did she just say? If you don't have scissors, what are you supposed to do? Raise your hand.
timeline.
So I'll show you guys where to write your name. I'll come up there and show you. So you're gonna write your name in,
Give her 5. Jasmine Taram.
you're gonna write your name in this box. You can write a big, small, whichever. You guys can also get out a glue stick. You guys get out a glue stick, not glue bottle.
Get out some scissors too. Get a
Yes, scissors and a glue stick. Don't start cutting anything yet. Raise your hand if you do not have a glue stick.
If they have bottle glue, they'll have to use that. 'Cause I don't.
Okay.
If you have a bottle of glue, use it. Remember, small dots. If you don't have either one, then you need to raise your hand.
You don't have either one? The one that doesn't have either one.
Ew, mine's moldy.
No, Delonte.
It's not moldy. It's not white.
Okay. Does everyone have scissors and glue stick out?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and look at the small sheet of paper. And I'll just show you guys what to do and then I'll have you guys do it. So we have, Evan, can you turn off the lights? Thank you. Turn front one on. There.
It- Okay.
Okay, so we have all the events. So these were the events that were on the timeline in the book, but we're gonna see how well you guys can place them on the timeline. Okay, and then, so the timeline, think of it as the earliest event starts here and really pay attention to the arrows, which one they're pointing to. It'll always be the left column first. You guys notice that?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys can go ahead and start cutting. And once you guys are done, go ahead and put the papers on your desk and read a book.
Yes. Like an half?
Oh, cut the small one. Cut the small piece of paper, not the timeline. Cut this one. Cut all the events out and then glue them on the timeline into perspective areas. I put the years on each of the events. So,
How else can myself?
if you need help, raise your hand. But we're gonna do this at a level 0, unless you need help.
Almost cutting accidentally. Bar. Well, that's not what you Wait, oldest going on the top or the bottom?
Oldest goes on top.
Yeah.
So the earliest event goes on the very top.
Miss Teason, I got 2 papers.
So the one that's closest to this year, like the
Okay,
top.
give one to Miss Tam. This can help you.
Farthest away, farthest away.
Farthest, I think.
Like, see
So
how,
this is 2020, so 1901 goes on top.
sure that's the one that would go on top, but there might be some that are early.
Do we just put them in order?
Okay, put them in time.
Alright, so
Just like,
oldest-
okay. Everyone look up here.
Miles, are you the teacher?
so 19.
Okay, so you noticed how we started with 1972, but not 1998? Because this one comes before 1998. So we're gonna put them like that on the timeline.
How old is she?
She's 48.
40. My dad's 50.
48.
My dad's 50 years old. My mom's
Hey, work on the assignment.
I'm over 30.
At level 0. Level 0. If you guys need help, raise your hand. If you need to.
Actually, my dad's in jail.
If you guys do get too confused, you guys can use your books.
Said know exactly what's going on.
Yep, if you guys need some help. And then second one. And bounce back and forth.
That's what I did.
Okay, what voice level did she tell you to work at?
0.
So get back on 0. Who is singing? Please stop.
So which of these is the oldest? What's the long figure that's furthest away from next to the So all of these are in 1900, correct? Except for one. Which one's it? Put them like that or do that? So, where's the one that is in 18? You're gonna put the order, so what happens first? It has first. That one. Move that there. And then you'll find the other event, and then whenever you find that one, it'll go to it. And then next one. You'll bounce back and forth. Does that make some sense? Oh, the next one. That one? So that one will go over there. That one. Just like that, back and forth. Good job. Yes, Robert? Lay them all out, and then we're gonna find the earliest one. The one that happened first. So which one of these happened first? Which one happened in the That one happened later. Okay, so that one will go over here. There's all these 1900s except for one. Yep, so this one will go over here. And then the next one goes right next to it. So which one will be after 19 or 18? And then what's next?
Look at the years.
And you have them all set out for her?
Excuse the interruption. We will be having outdoor recess. You need to stay out of the mud and stay out of any puddles, and we will tell you where you can play when you get outside. Thank you.
Silent cheer, silent. Okay, so yeah, so first year of 20 minutes. Look at that and see which one you're missing and you take credit out for that one. Emma? the first one that you're looking for? 1895. So we'll find the one that says 1895 on it.
No, mine is out.
Give me 5. I don't understand why people are arguing about where to play at recess, because she said we will tell you where to play. It doesn't matter where you were last time, because possibly that part has a big puddle. So Miss Dozier will tell you, so please stop arguing. If you need something, you're gonna raise your hand, and other than that, you should not be talking. Go. Okay. Yeah, you got it, keep going.
1922, I
Yeah,